Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We want to talk about the different scenarios here at the moment on the Bitcoin chart, what I'm leaning to and where I see the next potential reasonable trade setups that could be, traded with the Elliott Waves, potential pullback setups. So let's take a look at that. First of all, we have to understand that at the moment the yellow wave count for me still is in control, but it's fairly neutral. I mean, just look at the shape here of the price action that has been unfolding since August, so middle of August, yeah. So it's basically been moving just sideways. We are basically ranging. I'm always careful to label a triangle, but this could indeed be one. I've mentioned it before that a B wave triangle is definitely an option. However, it is basically in line with the yellow wave count anyway. If we've got a 1-2 setup, or 1-2, 1-2 would point to the downside, or it's a triangle which would also break to the downside. The triangle would rather explain why on Thursday we had a bit of a rally, but have not broken yet above the 27,480 level, which would be in a triangle also a key level. Because if I label that as a triangle, then we do have, after this A wave low, well, the B wave would possibly be finished now actually, or nearly finished. And this would be an A wave. This would be the B wave, a running triangle, where the B wave can overshoot. This would be a C wave. C waves are often quite complex and annoying in a triangle. Then a D wave. And this could be the E wave. It's a textbook triangle, actually. So if this is complete and we see a break below the last swing low, which is in a triangle, the D wave low, which is basically here 25,770. No, 25,000. No, it's actually 26K. So a breakdown below 26K would lead to most likely a significant sell-off and a rapid sell-off. Triangles, when they break, it is quite rapid and aggressive typically. You would typically see a break to the opposite side of the E wave in this case. Sorry, of the B wave. The end of the triangle is an E wave within wave B. A, B, C, D, E is the triangle count. And the last wave is wave E in B. B wave is the larger degree. And then a sell-off in wave C that could take us to, first of all, 24K and then probably 22K in the coming weeks. This is definitely something to observe. Now, the thing is, a triangle can also break to the upside. So we shouldn't say, okay, this will definitely break down. But I'm observing these triangles on various price charts at the moment. And the important is just to understand where are the breakout points. And the breakout to the downside here will certainly become more likely below the 26K level. On the flip side, a breakout to the upside will become more likely above 27,480. But these are all levels we know about anyway. We've been talking about the 27,480 level now for a few weeks, okay? And we had a nice rejection here at this level. It came down nicely. Okay, now retraced again, but we have not broken it. So that would be the breakout point to the upside. And then probably even more important for invalidation purposes, because the triangle will be invalidated and the yellow wave count, as it is also, will be invalidated above the end of August high, talking about $28,200 here. So again, still below 27,480, I'm leaning towards the downside. The thing is, you see these triangles currently on many charts, actually on the ADA chart as well. I've just looked at it again, and with yesterday's rally failing, looks also like a triangle. XRP, we've been tracking a triangle. Litecoin, we've been tracking a triangle. BNB, we're tracking a triangle. Stacks, I'm tracking a triangle. There might be other charts, I'm just can't recall, but there is quite a bit of confluence around different charts. And then if I look at the crypto miners, which I also analyze, or Coinbase, they're all charts that point towards further downside. It's very interesting, but the chart overall here, this sideways correction, it is certainly not clearly bullish. That's what I highlight here, okay? So therefore, we always need to wait for the process to follow through to indicate that a lasting low has been established. Anybody who's new on this channel, yes, a lasting low could be here. Could we go to 40K from here? Yes, but I need to see evidence for that, and that evidence I get in the white wave count. I need to see 5 waves up to complete. I need to see that completed and a 3-wave pullback. This is a so-called 1-2 setup. The 5 waves up indicate the trend direction. So with 5 waves up, I can be more certain. You're never 100% certain, but I can be confident that an uptrend has started. But that only gives me, a part of that. I need to see the 3-wave pullback as well, because if I'm not watching for 3 waves and I'm not careful and wait for that, for confirming it, then it could develop a 5-wave move down, okay? Why that is, I described all of that in previous videos. Let me know in the comments if that's unclear. But in short, this could just be part of a larger ABC correction. A wave, B wave, C wave, and then 5 waves down. So it's always 5 waves up, 3 waves down. Now, some people might not have the patience to wait for that. If you don't, then I can just encourage you to work on your strategy, because the way, in my opinion, to deal with this market, and that's just a very general opinion, but it might differ for you. But for me, it's very reasonable to just accumulate the red days in spot positions, build a core portfolio, build a core position, Bitcoin, Ethereum, for the next bull run. If rallies like the one on Thursday occur, they generate significant profit for your core portfolio, for your, I don't want to call it a hodl portfolio because it's not one. It's a core portfolio, a core position that basically you can use to avoid FOMO. It's a recipe for FOMO, because you will not feel FOMO if there is a rally, because you've got your core portfolio and you're good either way, right? Now that works only and only for coins which can be seen as portfolio assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum. They are still risky, but honestly, don't do that for the random altcoin, which can go to 0, okay? So, Bitcoin, Ethereum could also go to 0, but I see the probability is far lower than for many altcoins. And then, just looking for short-term setups like the one that I showed you, 5 waves up, 3 waves down. Or, there is a setup for a reasonable setup for a long trade that might come up in the next few days. But again, if you want to trade that, that's up to you. It's certainly not clearly in the trend direction, so it's more risky. But there is obviously in the white wave count, here there's a support area for the B wave to trade wave C. But the best way to trade a C wave is actually to wait for the 1-2 setup to play out, and then buy the wave 2 pullback to trade the 3rd wave higher. Because then you have initial 5 waves up in wave C, and you basically have an idea that the C wave has started and that we're not breaking through in a triangle, okay? And then the pullback is obviously a pullback trade. So that's something that might be coming up next week, early next week. But yeah, overall, the situation hasn't changed. Below 27,480, I'm looking at lower. I'm very open to the idea the white wave count could play out. We've been talking about that for weeks, but as I always say, above 27,480, I have no evidence it's unfolding. So I can just point it out. And if you want to trade, that's of course up to you. I can only point out the structures that I see here. But below that 27,480 level, for me, another move down is more likely. It's just, however, where obviously, as explained, it's sort of getting, the yellow wave count gets less likely, okay, and the white wave count increases in probability. So we're getting sort of to a very neutral state here, and the chart reflects that. Triangle patterns indicate indecision, right, in the market. So there is just no clear trend at the moment. It's just moving sideways. So we just need a bit of patience to see how this is playing out. I think all the levels are very clear. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.